in last week's review, I think I remember mentioning how last week's episode centered around Dabi was probably going to be the best episode of the season. Because I didn't know what they were gonna do afterwards. You know what was gonna happen that was gonna make me think otherwise. You know whether or not like maybe next week's episode, which is now this week's episode, was gonna be better or worse or whatever. I didn't know what was going to happen, but this week's episode came out, and man, I felt so much joy watching this episode that at one point, I think I was almost brought to fucking tears by how much joy I felt watching this episode. I can't even explain it. So, the amount of shit that ends up happening in this episode was just straight out of a comic book hero movie about how, like, the heroes are trying everything that they can, but they're continuously brought down by the villains, and the villains have, like, this big giant monster who's, like, basically unstoppable, which is Makia at this point, because that's exactly who he is. And the heroes are doing everything that they can in order to be able to stop the Nomus who are still around, stop Makia from moving because Best Jeanist just showed up at the nick of time to be able to stop him. Meanwhile, Shigaraki could wake up at any moment, along with, like, Spinner could do something, Compress could do something, and potentially, you know, cause the shift of the battle to change. Dabi is currently fighting with Todoroki right now, and they're having their family dispute at the moment because Dabi is just a freaking psychopath who's trying to do everything he possibly can in order to make Endeavor feel even worse, because he really freaking hates his dad. He really hates Endeavor. Meanwhile, Endeavor is he's the number one hero, right? He's supposed to be like there fighting with his life right now, but he's just sitting there completely immobilized by the sheer shock of the revelation that was announced in the last episode, and he just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to feel. Meanwhile, he's just watching everyone like throw their lives on the line, and everything is just going so downhill in like the first half of the episode, and then all of a sudden, this is where like the genuine like joy of the episode like happened for me, and Mirio the Million fucking shows up out of goddamn nowhere and is now helping out in the fight, and I was genuinely so shocked because I didn't think this was gonna happen so soon. It was only like 2 seasons ago when he got his quirk erased by the leader rounds from Overhaul, and I didn't think that Eri was going to be able to improve with her quirk usage enough to be able to, in order to be able to restore Mirio's quirk to any capacity. And true, his strength isn't fully recovered because he can't knock out any of these Nomus in one shot, which he even points out in the episode. But he has his quirk back, and the fact that he even has it back in the first place is astounding. The fact that it even happened in the first place is incredible, and I was genuinely shocked when he showed up. And then that's when this whole thing happens, where everything starts to shift. Todoroki continues to fight Dabi. Dabi is trying to like do as much damage to Todoroki as much as possible to be able to get a good reaction of his dad and make him feel even worse. Midoriya is trying his best to like get up and move so that way he can at least help out, because he can't stand being useless in a situation where he could actually contribute, because he's the fucking wielder of One for All. Nejire gets knocked out by one of Todoroki's flame attacks, but then she ends up getting up anyways, and she's helping out. Ida is there, and he's fucking being cool as shit. Bakugo announces his hero name. I'm not gonna say the whole thing because it's really stupid, but it's like God Dynamite, which I actually really liked. I don't know if I mentioned it in the previous episode, but I do like the Dynamite part of his name. I think it really fits for the character as he is, because not only is he also a huge All Might fanboy, but he also, you know, it's like a play on words, because, you know, like Dynamite, explosions, his quirk is explosions, but also Dynamite in the way that it's spelled, because he's an All Might fanboy. I like it. I like that's what his name is, and this is a callback to, I think, season 2 it was, when he was working in the, I forget what it's called, I forget what they called it, the hero work thing that they were doing for their class, and he was with Best Jeanist, and Best Jeanist was like, come back in your second year when you get your professional license, and then tell me what your name is then. And Bakugo tells that to Best Jeanist. All the while, he's doing his fucking best to restrain Machia, and Machia eventually breaks out of the threads that Jeanist is using to restrain him. Endeavor finally wakes the fuck up, and he realizes that, you know, the past is the past, and even though Endeavor has made mistakes, who he is now is who he's trying to be. Which is to be a better hero, be a better father, and be a better person in general. And he musters up all the strength that he can, gives Machia one giant, like, punch in the fucking face, which was awesome. And I thought, like, something terrible was about to happen, but the anesthetics made by Momo finally kick into Machia, and now he's completely out. And, just the way that everything was building up towards the end of the episode, man, just, like, I felt like my chest felt really tight. I felt really excited. Man, just this episode did a lot for me, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. Building up more with the dichotomy and the relationship between the Todoroki family and how they're broken apart and how complicated it is. It does more of that in this episode with Dabi and Todoroki and Endeavor. Seeing Midoriya being, you know, who he is, which is trying to be the best hero he possibly can be, and seeing the first actual moment of danger sense as well. It happened before, because he said it happened earlier in the fight, but this is like the first time we actually, you know, it's pointed out to the audience that he actually, like, sensed something before it even happened, which is danger sense, which is one of the other quirks that he has thanks to One for All. He actually uses Black Whip in the style of Froppy or Suyu Asui, which I really liked how he did that, because that's like one of the other ways he can actually be able to move, because his legs, his arms are completely fucking blown out. Bakugo's doing whatever he can, even though he basically can barely fucking move. Like I said, Ida in this episode was really cool. I like how he's actually contributing to the main fight, because I like Ida a lot. And the Shide's there, and she's cool. All the other heroes, like Burning, she shows up for a part of the episode, and I don't know, I just like seeing her, because I think her design's really cool. I don't know, this episode just did a lot for me. Mirio's return in the episode really, like, solidified this episode for me to being, like, one of the greatest episodes of the entire series, because I just was not expecting it. I didn't expect this to happen as soon as it did. Eri showing up and talking to Mirio and saying, like, you know, giving him the confirmation that it's okay. You know, he apologizes to her, you know, saying that he's basically using her to try to get his quirk back, but she, you know, affirms to him that she doesn't mind this whatsoever, because she's been trying as hard as she can in order to be able to properly, you know, gain some control of her quirk for the sake of him, right? She's been trying to do that the entire time, and you see it in her face, and man, it hit me. It hit me so hard in my feelings, in my chest. This episode was fantastic. I can't believe how fucking good it was. Honestly, season 6, with everything that's happened so far, I don't know what's going to happen after all this is concluded and we get to, like, the second half of the season, but so far season 6 is honestly rivaling seasons 1 and 2 for me. And if you know me, and if you saw my rankings for all the seasons thus far, with seasons 1 through 5, you know that I rank seasons 1 and 2 very, very highly. Man, this episode was amazing. Season 6 is fantastic so far. I can only anticipate what's going to happen next, and I'm really excited. I also want to point out really quick, also, by the way, because I forgot to mention it earlier, something I really like that happened with Bakugo when he was about to announce what his hero name is now. He notices that his explosions are a lot stronger now. And it's a callback to, you know, before when Bakugo was working with Best Jeanist momentarily for the school thing. He was very selfish. Bakugo was a very selfish and self-centered character, and he only did things for himself. Earlier when he went to go save Midoriya, and earlier when he's trying to help out with all the other heroes who are in the area, His explosions are a lot stronger and a lot more potent, and it's because he's finally using them not for himself, but for the sake of others. Proving that using your power for the sake of other people and actually being a hero makes one stronger than they would have been, which I really, really like. I really like how Bakugo is finally noticing this, and he acknowledges the aspects of being what a true hero is supposed to be. And this is great character development for Bakugo. This entire season so far, with everything that's happened with him so far, has been fantastic for him, and I really like it. Man, this episode was amazing. I don't have much else to say other than that. Man, this episode really, really, really made me excited and happy and joyful. Man, this was just amazing. I can't be any more happier with an episode than I am with this one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm probably going to go watch the episode again, maybe. I have a couple other things I want to watch. So if I get around to it today, I might watch it for a second time. Man, I really, really liked it. I really want to see more episodes like these because, man, it was just so good. Anyways, that's pretty much besides the point. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more, please be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. I think I already said that. Anyways, I'll see you guys next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.